What kind of life would you live if you had all the money in the world? The moment I asked myself this question, my reality really changed. I realized that I really wanted a simple life where I could appreciate the mundane things, the day-to-day, spend time with nature, have time in the morning to just stare up in the sky, stare at the trees. Then quickly that became, how can I create a life where I can live this life while making lots of money and not working for somebody else as a slave? And the answer to this is something that I'm constantly pursuing, and I've created a lifestyle right now that I ensure is supporting that dream that I have, because getting to that big goal always starts with a small step, and I believe that the habits that I'm cultivating are what will catapult me to this grand dream. It's that period between mid-morning and lunchtime, and I always take this time as my productive time, or should I say my learning time. When I'm taking time to do my German classes, to study a little bit of marketing. I'm technically sitting on the grounds that I can get the good lighting, because this house has the worst lighting ever. And I don't want to go outside because it's just so hot. Like, the Kenyan heat is out of this world. We're really living on the cusps of climate change. Heat in Kenya is just so bad that it gets to UV index 14 at like 11 a.m. As of now, I am dying. But anyway, this is like my productive time. Let me give you a little tour of my petite bibliothèque. I really don't have like a designated space to do all these things. I've just taken over one sofa set and in one corner, that's where I'm keeping everything that I need. The first thing that I always have is a dictionary. I actually got this dictionary from my father's library, and it's one of those really old dictionaries. I mean, here it's written low price edition. You know, during those times they used to get a lot of stuff from the British, because obviously the British colonized Kenya, and they actually had the best dictionaries, because this is just amazing. It's one of those dictionaries that separates words by syllables. This is how you actually learn how to pronounce a word. I absolutely love this, and I would definitely like to get an updated version. Fun fact, I read the dictionary, and this is something that I was always told since I was in school. If you want to improve in your languages, you have to read the dictionary, so you can learn new words, learn new meanings of words, learn how to pronounce words. It's just amazing. And also, when you read something and then come across a new word, then it's very easy for you if you have a dictionary, because you can just grab it and you can get to know the meaning of the word, and then you can start using it. Then I have this book, which is a marketing book, Emotional Branding. I actually have a master's degree in marketing and communication, but anyway, that's not important. I'm just a very big fan of communication and marketing. Reading this book is just one of those things that really refreshes my ideas on marketing and communication, and especially something that I'm really interested in, which is emotional branding. One thing about really succeeding in business in the world of today, you have to understand how to impact people, and especially impacting them emotionally is just one of the ways in which you can make a lot of money. Emotional branding is one of the reasons why people say that marketing is about manipulating people, but I always say the difference between manipulation and persuasion is intention. If I have the intention of manipulating someone, then it means that you try to convince them to buy into something without disclosing it to them that you were trying to, you know, change their behavior. One of the ways that you will see influencers practicing manipulation is when they pretend that they love a product when they've actually been paid for it and not disclosing it. That is manipulation. But when you're very honest from the start, you're just trying to persuade people. So really, there's nothing wrong with marketing. It's the intentions that someone has. Then I have this very old notebook that used to be my brother's or something. Everything that I do, I always have to write it down. I'm not a big fan of using things like Notion. I have tried it, but it just gets boring. But I never get bored of writing all my preparations for YouTube, for my TikTok videos, everything, you know, my French writing, my to-do list. I just do it the old school way. Yeah, because I just like it best. I mean, look at all of that. Then I have these two books, and these are for my French practice. This is like the B1 level. I definitely have an advanced level in French, but because these are the only books that I have right now, using whatever I have, I've also come to realize that many times, you know, when you're learning a language, you want to really focus on the advanced levels. You're so engrossed in trying to advance your level because you want to get better that you actually forget the basics. And these books that have a lower level than my level of French definitely teach me a lot more things. And I particularly like this one because it's actually a lot of exercises. For me, my best way of studying is actually using questions and answers. It's how I learn best. Then of course I have this notebook where I actually do a lot of my French writing. This was from Alliance Française 10 years ago when I was studying there. And this is the latest book that I'm reading now, which is How Europe Underdeveloped Africa by Walter Rodney. I'm really going through it so slowly because I'm just in my era where I'm just finding that I'm not interested in reading a lot of these books. The kind of books that I'm really focused on right now is the books that are going to help me, you know, to build my brand, to make money. That is the era I'm in right now. So I'm finding that these other books, the fictions, the essays, they're just not piquing my interest. I have to force myself to read them. But it's actually quite an insightful book because it's one of those things that reminds you why a lot of African countries are economically the way they are today. Then of course I have a French dictionary. As I had said before, like for me, having a dictionary is very important, and having one that is in French is also important for me. This one has English and French. I don't like it very much because it doesn't have a lot of words. Because I limit my use of the internet to only 1 hour per day, it means that most of the times when I come across a new French word, I have to write it down somewhere so that I can look it up online on Google Translate. Then here is another notebook. This one is my German practice notebook. I started learning German in December. I started with grammar using the Learn German YouTube channel, and they have a whole playlist, and then I got bored in the middle. I actually don't have a lot of resources to do German. It's just the online ones, and of course I always need something like a dictionary. But right now that I've started using Duolingo, I find that I'm progressing much faster. Maybe it's because there's a lot of similarities between German and English and Swahili, and of course I speak English and Swahili, so I don't find it to be as hard as French was. Then of course I have my pens, a highlighter for when I'm reading, a pencil, an eraser for the pencil, and a pencil sharpener, and of course it looks like the globe. Remind me that I can conquer the world if I want to.
Guten Tag, wie heißen Sie? Heiße.
So we've always been told by society, basically anyone that has the best interest at heart for us, that if you want to succeed, if you want to build wealth, if you want to live your dream life, then you have to put in a lot of effort. You have to work hard, go to school, get good grades, get a good job. Of course, like many other people, I followed this advice because I didn't know anything about the world. It shocked on me when I did all of this, and then finally I found myself, even with a master's degree, but still finding it hard not only to get a job, but to get a job that is going to pay me what I deserve. And this is what really triggered me to start asking questions about everything. Then I was like, you know what, I don't want to do this. I don't want to work for anyone. I don't even like working for people, because the corporate space is just an environment where people are doing 10% work and then 90% is just wasting time with office politics. This is the journey that has led me to actually discover this book, Millionaire First Lane, that I'm currently reading right now on Audible. And oh my god, if I needed any kind of validation, this book is giving me all the validation I need, because everything that I've been doing for the past year is exactly the right thing according to me to reach the destination that I want to go into. This is the perfect book to really help you to cultivate that mindset that you need, for you to see the mistakes that you've been doing and to find a way of start doing the things that you need to do for you to get to where you want to go. One of the things that I really liked about this book is the idea of get rich quick. For a very long time we've been told that get rich quick is a scam. You know, you have to double in selling drugs and whatnot, do the illegal stuff for you to get rich quick. And MJ DeMarco actually says there's a difference between get rich quick and get rich easy. What we are always hearing from people about a 20-year-old who started driving, I don't know, a Mercedes, who got, I don't know, millions in the bank. That is get rich easy. You know, these are people that don't even disclose where they're getting their money. A lot of them are actually dabbling in fraud, cyber fraud. It's actually very possible to get rich quick. It's something that we've seen over the years, especially now in the online space with content creators. Someone starts creating content and in 2 years they're living a lavish lifestyle. And granted, this is not the story of the majority of people who are working in the content creation space. If you're someone who actually understands how business works, how marketing works, it's very easy for you to make a lot of money in content creation. And this is because of one of the things that MJ DeMarco also talks about in this book, and that is the law of affection. We've always heard about the law of attraction and people talking about manifesting and all of that, but a lot of that is actually fluff because it's not concrete ideas that you can take and use. But with the law of affection, it means that the more people you're able to impact, the more people you're able to reach, then you can make a lot of money. So the bigger the scale and magnitude of your impact, the more money you can make, the more you can become rich quick. And so for any business or any entrepreneurial project that you want to embark on, you have to find a way of ensuring that you're actually tapping into that law of affection for you to make lots of money. Something remarkable that I've also learned from this book is the idea of affordability. He actually says that if you have to check the price of something, you cannot afford it. And he uses the analogy of candy. I mean, when you go to a store and you want to buy candy, normally for most people you don't even look at the price because you know you can afford it. But why is it that we've accepted society to condition us to always go for things that we cannot afford? You want to buy a car that you cannot afford, and society has told you that you can just take a loan. You want to have children when you cannot even take care of yourself. When you actually start looking at what society is telling you to do, it's as if society doesn't want you to actually live a good life because you're going to be indebted for the rest of your life. And the thing is, you actually cannot blame anyone if you don't end up liking your life because you're the one who has bought into this idea that society is telling you. Wow, that is loud. This is also something that MJ DeMarco keeps on reiterating, that you cannot be living as a victim in your life. Where you are right now is a sum of all the choices that you have made. And if you want to get rich quick, to start living this dream life that you have to start taking responsibility for all the choices that you've made. You cannot be blaming other people because other people cannot make the changes for you. It's just you. You have to take charge of your life, sit in the driver's seat of your life and start driving your car, your bus to wherever it is that you're going, because you're the one that knows the path that you want to go. Another important thing that he's been talking about in this book that I actually believe in is the fact that there is nothing like someone is lucky. You have to create your own luck. And he talks extensively about how, you know, when someone gets successful and people are like, oh, that person is lucky, it's because a lot of people just want to look at these events that introduce what someone has been doing to a lot of people, and then people are like, oh, this person is lucky. Actually, a lot of people don't talk about the process that it takes to actually get to where this person has gotten into. A lot of times we're looking at these content creators and being like, oh my god, this person is lucky, they have 1 million subscribers. But remember, the person started from zero. You haven't seen the process that took them from 0 to 1 million. You want to say that that person is lucky? A lot of people use this word luck because it absolves them from the responsibility of taking charge of their own lives. Because if they look at someone, they're like, oh, that person is just lucky, it means that they can just continue being lazy wherever it is that they are, not doing any kind of improvements in their life. And I honestly understand this because the process of trying to become is really, really hard. For you to get lucky, you have to put yourself out there, and then a time will come where you will be at the right place at the right time. That is when everyone is like, oh my god, you're so lucky. No, it took you 10 years to be lucky. So if you're this kind of person who's always thinking that other people are lucky, you need to throw out that mindset and start working on your own dreams, because guess what? No one is going to work on those dreams for you. This El Nino is just so bad. It's starting to rain. I need to go. For the rest of a very rainy evening, I spent my time winding down, listening to an episode of Colleen and Samir's podcast on the creator economy and Tam's vlog. Then I skimmed through some articles that I want to read about the business model of a podcast, which I'm going to look into in much detail later on.